That sounds good.
Michael Wayne on Freach. That's a deck we haven't seen today.
Yep, and Delver.
That's a deck we have seen today.
That's a deck we've seen a lot of.
Yeah.
There's actually a lot more Delver here than I thought there would be today. I figured it would be big, but it's doing a little bit more. I think I didn't really account for those guys coming down from the northeast. Copperling Gorge, Faithless Looting. That's going to pretty much give up the ghost. Ali knows what he's up against now.
Yeah, I would think so. And looks like he's going to discard an Unburial Rites. And what was that?
Tracker's Instinct.
Or Tracker's Instinct, okay.
Looks like his deck is like all foil too.
It does. Just trying to troll us, I think, because those foils really make it tough to see. At least sometimes. Turn 1 Ponder from Ali.
Our hand does not seem that great for this matchup. I saw like a gut shot, a snag. There's an Augur of Bolus in that Ponder, which is an excellent card. So we have a Snapcaster and an Image. Oh, that's a spicy one actually.
Yeah. I mean, Snag's not awful, I don't think. There's that mulch.
Got a land.
Thragtusk,
Inferno Titan, and an Elf of some kind. A promo Arbor Elf, I think? That's my guess.
Yeah, I think it's
promo
Avacyn's Pilgrim.
Oh, Avacyn's Pilgrim. Oh, my bad.
Actually, that's some sweet artwork.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, I'll bring that up just because.
Delver from Ali, passing with the mana up. It's important to get your threats down before your opponent can start threatening Unburial Rites.
Right.
Because you want to be holding open Mana Leak mana on those turns, but not before. You're right, that art is sweet. Greg Staples.
He's one of my favorites, yeah.
Elishnorn, another Inferno Titan, and another Mulch in the graveyard.
And taps
Birds of Paradise.
For, presumably birds. Yeah, there it is.
Well, that gut shot has found its mark.
Yeah. Thank you for playing something I can gut shot.
Not even going to draw a card. He's showing off.
Just do it now. And he's going to Thought Scour. And he hits Augur of Bolus and Glacial Fortress.
And reveals a Mana Leak.
Wow, Ali.
Well, this game has swiftly come into Ali's shape.
Yeah, he's got that.
Mana Leak the first spell, Snapcaster Mana Leak the next one.
Hopefully, if he draws 2 more land. Oh, he does have one.
He has one. Yeah,
there's a Glacial Fortress.
Glacial Fortress.
He's fine. Yeah, he is going to be able to Mana Leak and Snapcaster
Is that Geist Trap too? Whew. Fan me off.
How many lands is Ali playing? Looks like 16, 17, 19 lands. So this is close, a little bit closer to the Yu Yu Watanabe version.
Ali chooses to pass. He could have played a Geist here. I don't really like that play, but it was an option available to him, hoping that Michael can't muster a 4th mana for an Unburial Rites. And even if he does, he'll just get an Inferno Titan and then you'll Vapor Snag it, which is not that bad. It looks like it would have paid off really nicely for him if he'd gone for it, but I would not criticize his hesitance there.
I think I'm fine with.
I guess he has
he
has the Elishnorn. My bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that makes the play a little riskier then. Yep.
He wants to make sure that Elishnorn doesn't hit play because, well, it's Elishnorn, but there's Lingering Souls.
We care about those a little bit. That's gonna slow us down. I think we just have to attack and snag one.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's what he does. So, Michael Wayne able to fog that Delver for a turn.
We haven't seen his Black Source from yet. He has a Dark Six Shores in his hand. He's been declining to play over the playing spells each turn, but I think that's going to bite him here.
Yeah, not being able to flash back the Lingering Souls is going to allow Ali to get in where he otherwise wouldn't have.
Playing the birds maybe is the turn where we probably should have gone for the Dark Six Shores, especially because you know your opponent's going to have cards like Gutshot that just aren't live.
Right. Tracker's Instinct, is that what that is?
Double checking that one real quick. Forest. Iso Chapel. Thragtusk. It's interesting to see Thragtusk in this deck. I think it adds like definitely a new dimension to it because the deck can hit 5 mana pretty easily and it gives you this mid-game threat / defense.
Yeah.
Oh, still not playing that Dark Six Shores. What if we draw on Unburial Rites, man? You gotta be able to cast that stuff.
He's flashing back a Faithless Looting, hits
Swamp.
Bird and Swamp. So
pays off.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it just.
We discarded.
He's gonna hit something.
Have we lost that? Man, oh, he discarded for the last Faithless when he used Dark Six Shores. That explains so much more. That also seems really greedy. I would not do that there, I don't think. He didn't have any sources of black mana. Bidding the Dark Six Shores just seems really aggressive.
Hey, what besides Unburial Rites and flashing back Lingering Souls, I guess there's not a lot. Oh, he's got a Gristlebrand in the deck. Presumably an Unburial Rites target, not meant to be cast, but...
Yep, now we're discarding birds.
Birds and forest go away.
We played a land, we're all good, yep. Ali's still rolling on the ability to mana leak twice in the game, which is pretty good.
And Delver in for another 3.
That's Insectile Aberration, actually.
It is Insectile Aberration, actually. For some reason, it reminds me of Delver of Secrets. I don't know why.
They are similar. Now we've got Geist, we've got Leak Up. This is a nice turn to play the Geist because there's not a way to get an Unburial Rites through a mana leak here, unless you're some kind of real sorcerer. I think Michael just kind of has to go for it here. He has the flashback on Lingering Souls to fall back on if it doesn't work. He has to know his opponent has a mana leak, so you could argue not going for it, but then he's just flashbacking Lingering Souls because I don't think the Thragtusk play is any better.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Yeah, so he's just going to go right for the Lingering Souls. I'm fine with this too.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and just try to
Your opponent
buy
doesn't
time.
know what you'll do.
Get another land to maybe play around the mana leak.
Tracker's Instincts? Alright. The thing is, like, our graveyard is already to the point that we can do pretty much whatever. The problem is we don't have enough time to cast our spells before dying. Hit another Unburial Rites.
Avacyn's Pilgrim, yeah.
That Pilgrim's actually pretty nice. Now he doesn't have to worry about getting hit by a Runechanter's Pike because he can actually block everything. So
yeah.
That's kind of nice.
And Ali untaps, plays a Ponder. Sees Vapor Snag, Gut Shot, Snapcast? Oh, Gitaxian Probe.
Yeah. Doesn't know if he wants those or not. And that's fair. Those are all spells that are like kind of relevant right here, but they're not like, they don't put the game away.
Yeah.
So I can understand his concern. It's a tough decision. It really depends on how you want to sequence out the next few turns. The most interesting part is actually you want to keep that Gitaxian Probe so that you can know exactly what's going on.
Exactly, yeah.
I think the graveyard mostly clues us in here.
Ollie doing some math there. Michael at 13. He can, I think, does Ollie have a Snapcaster in hand?
He does. I think what Ollie's thinking right now is that he wants to try and keep his Geist alive, but he needs 2 of these spells to do that, not just 1.
Well, he would.
Oh, he has another Gut Shot. Then, yeah, he only needs 1. I don't know what he was thinking about then. I'm confused.
I love the Angel. It's very cubey.
All right, he's not even gonna go for that. Michael uninterested in attempting to kill the Geist. That's fair. I think he's just all in on trying to get that Elesh Norn into play now. Which, if he has that 7th land, I think he does, we're gonna be fine on doing that.
Yeah. So, Angel gets blocked. Insectile Aberration gets blocked. Geist gets in for 2.
He peeled it. He didn't have it.
Wow.
Oh, he drew it. It's so gross. Oh man. Elesh Norn coming out to play.
Unburial Rites, Elesh Norn.
Interestingly, if it gets
3 mana
snagged, he's not that far off from just casting it again. He'll need what? 1 more white source? Yeah.
And Ali untaps, plays Gitaxian
Probe
Probe for a mana, and sees Elesh Norn and Thragtusk. So
just this. This is all.
That's not much, right? Guy that gains me 5 life, leaves another guy, even if you try to get rid of him. And a backup to this other guy.
Yeah. Ali wasn't really able to capitalize on his window, and now he's got too much to contend with, I think. He's fighting the tide at this point. Looks like there's a confusion of some kind. No? Alright. drew a mulch. Oh, mulch might find in the lands. He needs to actually cast more spells. That was a really good mulch. 2 sweet lands and a Faithless Looting. Play that chapel. Don't be silly. Play that swamp. Get out of here.
Ollie with just have no cards in his hand.
He has a Snapcaster, a Snag,
Where is his hand?
a Gut Shot.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Maybe he played the
He keeps
Snapcaster
putting it
go
to the
away?
side, and
Yeah,
I'm
he
thinking
keeps
he
putting it
doesn't
to the
have
side.
it.
Yeah, we're out of it at this point. All of the things our opponents going to do are going to be much better things than we're trying to do. The interesting thing about Frights is it's actually reasonably well positioned to exploit a metagame that's getting like really hostile toward these mid-range green decks. The curious part is that a lot of its points of vulnerability can be the same, with the early mana creatures being vulnerable to Gut Shots and Bonfire of the Damned.
Right.
But if you build it to be less reliant on the full amount of dorks and just being able to cast some powerful spells, you can do well against those strategies.
Yeah, and Ollie with a very impressive start, not able to close it there in game 1. Michael Wayne takes that one with the Freets deck. Frights. See, in French, that word, as far as I understand it, is pronounced Freets.
Yes,
Because
that is my understanding as well.
Right. But people call it Frights because it's French rights. So it's like there's really no wrong way to say it, I guess.
Well, I think that what we really got to wonder is how did the French pronounce Umbrella rights?
That's a good
That
point.
would probably
Yeah.
that would figure it all out for us.
Yeah. So going into the board here, let's see. Michael is on that side.
Who do you want to do first, Michael or Ollie?
Let's look at Ollie since he lost.
Ollie.
What
He
is
did
Ollie
lose.
going to do to rectify that situation that he he ended up in there?
He doesn't have any direct graveyard hate, so that's unfortunate. He does have a couple phantasmal images.
Yeah. And paired dissipates that could keep those Burial Rights from resolving.
He knows his opponent's running Inferno Titan, so Celestial Purge is not the worst thing in the world. I'm not a big
Yeah.
fan. I think I'd rather just run the Oblivion Rings. And he has Sword of War and Peace, which is pretty reasonable because you can get it on a Restoration Angel, and then it can get through Lingering Souls while surviving Elish Norn, and Inferno Titan obviously can't handle it either.
Yeah.
So he may go for that. It's nice that it gives you something to do, especially when you're facing down mana creatures, that you can turn 3 play a Sword of War and Peace instead of a Geist of Saint Draft and avoid losing your board to an Elish Norn. You'd lose your creature still, but you'll still have something to show for your
Right.
mana investment over the early turns. So
Yeah, I like that. I like that as a possibility.
he's got a lot of options. I don't know what he can take out. Like, he actually, it's always hard sideboarding with Delver because you don't want to mess with the core too much. And
Yeah.
one of the concerns is he's running Augur of Bolus, and as you sideboard, it's very important to monitor how many instants and sorceries you take out, because
Yeah.
Augur of Bolus ranges from very good to unplayably bad in about 4 spells.
Sounds about right. Maybe just take out the Augur.
That's often what you wind up having to do. So, and with
Yeah.
his sideboard, I expect that's what he's been doing for most of the day, just taking out those 2 Augurs to get 2 of whatever card he wanted.
Yeah. I wonder about Talrand because I feel like it's a 2/2. If Elish Norn ever hits the board, any of your efforts
Misery.
with Talrand are just gone, you know.
It does soar over Thragtusk, and it does match up well against the Lingering Souls token, so that's a bonus.
Yeah. I mean, he's got one main, one side, so it's one of those cards where I'm questioning whether you need to keep it in. Maybe just leave it. Don't bring in the second one though.
I might just take that one out, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think we're going to shift to relying on Restoration Angel swords, and to a lesser extent, like flipping an early Delver and landing some Geists before you can do anything. Geist is really iffy because you have to kill their mana dorks in order to play them safely if they have an Elish Norn in the graveyard, and an Umbrella Rights obviously a lot of the time, so you really want to get him down. Like we saw in that game, the Geist, I think it just came down like 1 or 2 turns late. If it had come down a turn earlier, completely different game. The Unburial Rights combination deck that we have on our left probably boards in. I could see wanting, like, Geist Flame's like okay. I don't really like it, just as an answer to Delver. He's got Ancient Grudges for equipment if that's his bag. Thragtusk number 3 is in the sideboard as well. And I think that's really pretty much it.
Yeah. I mean, he's got let's see, He's got an acidic slime, but that's
It's a little
kinda
expensive.
slow, yeah.
I don't know why that's there. Why is that there? I don't know if I like that.
I mean, he does have Ancient Grudge for the equipment, so I don't know.
Like, it's a creature so that you can Unburial Rights to kill Artifact or Enchantment, but like we have so many better things to
Right,
Unburial
Tracker's
Rights.
Instinct into it. I mean, it's not a birthing club deck.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'd be curious as to how helpful that's been to him today, actually. Maybe Barry. Maybe we're buffoons.
Yeah, that's just. I mean, it's not awful or anything.
No,
It's just,
I feel like the Viridian Corruptor would be a little better just because you can actually cast that one really early when you draw it, and it'll be relevant. Like when they're trying to pike you, you can slide that Corruptor down under a Mana Leak. So, I don't know.
yeah, actually, that seems like a better option, but he does not have it here.
I love me a Viridian Corruptor. I'll warn you guys. Guys at home, I just love getting someone. Oh. I've run one made more times than I care to count. Michael peering pensively into the area just above the camera, and now the other camera.
It's a shame we're going to lose Corruptor. Feels like it didn't see enough play.
Yeah, I think there have been periods where that card was like correct to main deck and nobody noticed. So that's kind of interesting for that card. Looks like we're dealing him out.
Mulligan or never
No,
mind,
looks like
sorry.
7. We just took our time.
I thought he was about to shuffle.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a lot of Inferno Titans, couple birds. Throwing it back. One of the complicated things about this deck is it doesn't mulligan that well. You've got so many color requirements. You've got these redundant mana creatures. It gets really awkward once you get down to like 6 and 5 cards.
Yeah. So both players going to mulligan here. About 34 minutes left in the round for these guys. 27 for everybody else.
If you're sitting in the Delver player seat, it's kind of nice to see this deck mulligan. It also lets you keep hands that might not necessarily be able to handle a quick combo because you know your opponent's not very likely to be able to pull one off in 6 cards.
Yeah.
Like if I open on, you know, like Delver Ponder guy. Well, I'm sorry, I cheated. I said I put Ponder in my 6-card hand. I'm sorry. Obviously, we would keep that. So if we have like Delver Geist Snag lands or something, like that's actually pretty reasonable. You can turn 1 Delver, snag the Manador, turn 3 the Geist, just start attacking. Like.
I mean, if you've got 3 lands in your 6 cards and you're only running 19 lands, I think that's pretty nice. Just you're set for the most part. So 629 players today.
Yeah, big number.
Yeah.
A lot of rounds. I expected 10 rounds.
Yeah, so did I. What's the number? What's the cutoff, or what number is it that
Don't
makes it
know
10
actually.
rounds?
Like that math is not on like the actual DC side. I think our event staff did it when we were like at last DC, or not last DC, but the big DC. What is it?
Oh,
704
would have been 11 rounds.
Would have been 11 rounds. Well,
Yeah.
I thought we had more than that at the DC in 2011. Actually,
No,
but
it was
wasn't.
693.
It was 693. All right, it was close.
It was close.
I thought it was like 707 or something like that. My bad.
Okay, turn 1 Ponder.
Keep
from
on
Ali.
6 Island Ponder.
Yeah.
What do you know?
And he hit into a Dissipate, so we know he brought those in.
Shuffling up that Ponder. If you don't shuffle, it didn't do anything. Keep that in mind, guys. Our hand is actually quite nice. We got a Thought Scour, a Leak, a Snag. I don't know if we have enough lands. That might have been why we shuffled. I haven't seen another land in his hand yet. But we drew 1, so either way we're good. Yeah, I don't think we have another land. Yeah, we definitely don't have another white source. I'm pretty sure. Faithless Looting. Casually put that Elshore in the graveyard. A little Lingering Souls action. Yeah, it seems fine. Turn 2 Lingering Souls off that Swampy ass. That's gonna be pretty good. If you're Ali here, it's really awkward because I don't think you can mana leak the Lingering Souls. You just kind of have to let it happen.
Yeah, it's.
You have Vaporset Gut Shot, so. Oh, he's Snapcaster Gut Shot. That works too.
It's like Gut Shot, Snapcaster, Gut Shot.
He needs to remove his Gut Shot from the game, but other than that.
Yeah. So we got to make sure he does not try to do that again.
Yeah. Can you relay that to the table just to make sure his Gut Shot gets RFG'd?
And there's a Tracker's Instinct from Michael Wayne.
Is that a Sword of Feast? What's his other card? Mana Leap. Okay. That's. I thought it looked like a sword real quick.
Oh,
Like, that's
okay.
weird. What's he? We're talking about how the order we played our lands in. We're satisfied. All right.
And
Taking the
there's a bird.
Now, that's interesting. You can snag your Snapcaster to get another shot at Ponder, but I think I don't like it.
Thought Scour hits 2 lands. Nice Thought Scour there. But I think he may have drawn another land too.
Yeah, he drew an island for sure. Attacking through that birds. Snapcaster's not really the clock we wanted, but we did draw a second copy. Not 100% sure how we're going to play it here. We can plan to go leak, snap, leak, but I don't think our clock is fast enough to actually beat Michael's deck with that plan. We're only attacking for 2 a turn, so it's not really very much. So, yep, I like this play.
So Snapcaster Ponder happening here.
Yeah, try and find some more action. We think Michael's a little loose.
He finds Phantasmal Image, Thought Scour, and Vapor Snag.
It's interesting because the cards are relevant, but not great.
Oh, I'm sorry, it was Delver. I thought it was Phantasmal Image.
Oh. Well, that makes our hand a lot better, assuming we don't just get killed right here.
Yeah, no mana open for Ollie, and Michael free to
Do as he wishes.
do whatever he'd like here.
As long as what he wishes isn't especially powerful.
He only taps 3 there, and that was a Lingering Souls, not especially frightening compared to some of the things that he can do. Yeah. Frightening, yeah. Because the deck's called Frights.
I'm assuming we're just going to flash back the other. No? Play a Pilgrim. All right, we're interested in casting that Hellish Lord.
Yeah.
That is on the docket. Reveal that Thought Scour.
Yeah. Thought Scour flipping
This is a
Delver.
game now. He still has a snag in his hand, so I think that position favors Ollie slightly. He's going to be able to attack. He can leak a hardcast Elish Norn. I don't think I mind the premise of losing my Snapcaster Mages here. He's not going to block with that Pilgrim. I doubt he'd have cast it if he was planning to. I feel like he would just flash back Lingering Souls if that was his plan, so
Yeah.
just jam.
Everybody in from Ollie, double Snapcaster, 1 Insectile Aberration, and I wonder...
The safest block is just on both snaps. Yeah, and that's a good block to make.
And Snapcasters go away. Spirits go away. Insectile Aberration gets in. Ollie has a snag in his hand and a snag on top of his library. Now it's in his graveyard because he just Thought Scoured. Josh Cho sounds to be... Sounds like he's in
his match. Getting my food.
Okay, he's getting his food. That's why he came over here. Not to announce that he won his match.
I think he also said a winner is me. Although maybe that's just to reference his food grab.
That's true, but I think he's probably going to be able to draw into the top 8. He was saying if he wins his match, he can draw in. So,
win or lose, Josh Cho is eating. That's all we really know.
Or he's at least grabbed his food to do something with it, presumably eat it.
Michael's considering just jamming that Elish Norn. It's a bold play. His opponent's represented a leak pretty well throughout the game, but let's go for it.
Yeah, I actually like that play because you make him have the leak, and he does. And then you just unburial right the Elish Norn.
We don't have one of those yet, but we can Faithless Looting our way into one on the next turn. Or I guess possibly Tracker's Instinct, which technically digs more cards, so it's a better choice. But what do I know?
Insectile Aberration. In for 3, Geyser St. Traft comes to join the party.
I can't see Ollie's fingers under the table, but I'm pretty sure they're crossed. That definitely would be if I were him. Man, we need this turn to not go terribly. If we can make those mana guys start blocking, we might be able to engender some more defense.
There's that Tracker's Instinct.
So go. Oh no, oh no.
Thragtusk.
Well,
Unburial Rights. Unburial Rights. Oh, wow.
That was the best 3 cards he could reveal, in case anyone at home was wondering.
Also, I'll take the Thragtusk. And I'm going to cast Unburial Rights from my graveyard. How about that? Hey, what do I have in here?
Elish Norn.
An Elish Norn.
I don't know where that's getting us, but...
So, Ollie snags his Geist. just in time
I think
to
it's fine.
avoid disaster from Elish Norn.
I mean, I guess we weren't sagging anything else in this game. Then I guess it's reasonable, but maybe I don't know. It's dicey either way. Do we have an image? Because if we can go like image, replay Geist, we can make him get Elish Norn again, and then I don't know what our plan is after that.
Delver of
that dies.
Secrets just dies immediately. Was that snag
I guess
then
he
Delver?
said I'm snagging and playing a Delver or something like that. That's what I would assume.
Yeah, I would assume too.
This isn't going to work anyway. He's just going to flashback on Barrow Rights getting through a mana leak, so maybe he hopes that Michael will fear negate and go for a different line, but I don't anticipate that happening. Mostly because I don't believe in miracles.
Hey, look, Elish Norn.
Hey, look, 6. Or, sorry, 5. No. Yeah, 5. I counted it right.
And Ali adds a Phantasmal Image. It's a miracle off the top. Go. So dealt with Elish Norn.
Now,
at least
he
for
still
now.
has the one in the hand, right? Like, and Lingering Souls, and dear
He
Lord.
still has another on Burial Rights.
I think, no, he used both.
Or did he use both?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's just
To
he's
play her
just
on the mana
1,
leak.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah.
So, it's a reasonable choice by Ali. He can hope to draw a mana leak after drawing an image, but the timing's not going to work out here. Well, Michael continues to play around mana leak. Drag Disc resolves. That puts Ali on a clock. He's dead on board. He has to muster something, and we know he has a Geist of St. Traft and not much else. If he taps out for the Geist, the Elish Norn will land. And it does land. Elish Norn plays a mean Bonfire of the Damned impression.
Yeah, and there it is.
On this turn.
Yeah. Nice way to wipe the board. Michael Wayne with Freets takes the match versus Ali Mirghahari here in round 10.
Quick 2-0.
Yeah.
Really exploited the fact that the Delver players are just not running that much hate for this deck right now. It's the deck that does that too. At the Invitational, Brian Bronduin took Fritz into the top 8, just exploiting a slight moment where everyone forgot to bring everything, basically.
Yeah, it's interesting because like this is the first time I've seen it today. It's one of those decks that you know people play it, but you never see people playing it. You know, or you rarely see people playing it. So I think obviously you show up here today and exploit those weaknesses as you mentioned.
It's a sort
Michael
of
Wayne.
You don't like